feel like I always have to bring this up. It's just always like odd because the spoiler. I was talking to my guest before, like we do this, and like a minute later, it's just like we gotta pretend like nothing happened. Like, hey, what's up?
How's it been?
I know exactly. I guess we can wait like a minute or two.
All right.
What have you been doing today?
Nothing much. Let's see. I woke up early, finished my last pot of cold brew, prepared a new pot for tomorrow, and got a workout in. And that's pretty much it.
Nice. Oh yeah. So, how do you survive without the gyms, dude? Because I know you're like you love the gym and stuff.
I've been fine, honestly. I've just been doing at-home workouts, going on runs, small stuff like that. Honestly, it's just like staying active keeps me from getting jittery.
Right, for sure.
Because I'm a very energetic person, and honestly, not using that energy makes me way worse.
Right, yeah.
Just overall, like, functioning wise.
And so, yeah. Do you have like dumbbells at your house and stuff like that, or not? Yeah.
Yeah, I do have like some stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been mostly doing runs and stuff as of recent, though. And just body weight exercises.
Right. No,
keeping my heart rate up.
Yeah, that's really all you need, honestly. Like, I mean, not to build muscle mass, but just to stay lean and fit. You just do those things, kind of thing. Yeah, Tando, nice to see you here.
What's up?
But yeah, I guess I'll just say I'm at work again. I don't know if people prefer the orangutan background or the rhino background.
I like the orangutans.
You do? Okay.
Very Planet of the Apes.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, actually, yeah. Believe me, there's a ton of really nice conference room here. It's just they're always booked. I mean, it makes sense because it's a freaking company, but like there's like plenty of conference rooms where they have like really gorgeous views of like the canyon because where I'm located is in Scripps Valley Park area near the Vons, and we're like on this hill. You just like see everything, dude. Like
nice views.
Yeah, exactly. Nice views.
I'm familiar with the area. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Let's just start now. I mean, hopefully more people join. But either way, Justin Fernandez, thank you for coming on live, Kochka Instagram live edition. All right. Yeah, let's get into it. Just go into detail about your early life, middle school, high school, and where you're at right now.
Okay, early life, middle school. Honestly, middle school was an interesting stage. I'd say 6th to 10th grade through there, a little bit encompassing the beginning of high school.
Yeah.
I didn't really do much. I was kind of stagnant. I had hobbies, and I was into a lot of nerdy stuff. And I think that was pretty like defining about me, and that's how I like made most of my friends. But I also like sports, and that's kind of like how I like made that weird little transition of going from nerd playing Minecraft into high schooler, also still a nerd, but now plays football and Minecraft. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
What else? I also really like school. I like hanging out with you guys. That was a lot of fun. You, Daniel Berman, Ethan, John, Tyler, Chris, all the boys, everybody hanging out. It was always a good time.
Yeah.
Where else we're trying to go with this?
Well, I mean, you were freaking born in San Antonio, right? That's a big deal.
I was born in Oceanside, actually. My parents were born in Texas.
I didn't get that wrong. But wait. So did you travel to San Antonio? I think you mentioned San Antonio. They were just.
I did live there for like a summer with my family. Just kind of hanging out.
Oh.
Because all my family's in Texas, and then my parents even earlier than my middle school life. My parents grew up in Texas. My dad joined the Navy and got stationed in San Diego.
I see. Okay.
1989, they moved here, get married. 10 years later, I'm born.
Okay, so Oceanside. Okay.
A little clarification on that, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I always thought, because I remember you always mentioned San Antonio. Okay. Getting past that. Well, what about, like, I know fishing was a huge deal at that time too, right?
Fishing's always been a big deal for me.
When did that kind of start?
Since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
basically. My parents used to take me to Lake Dixon, if you're familiar with it. It's in the Escondido area.
Hmm.
Started with that, kind of took it to the piers, Oceanside Pier. Used to frequent these spots a lot, not as much as of recent, but
Yeah.
honestly, fishing's always been a big deal. I kind of been always into nature, huge nerd, like I said, always been into animals and I guess the environment, and fishing's just like a fun little tie into that because I like going out and can catch fish and spots, and honestly, that's really cool. It's
Right.
underrated sport for sure, and
Yeah, dude.
I call it a sport tentatively because it does take a lot of skill um to do it correctly, at least in targeting like a species, but
Right.
it's fishing. It's not the most athletic thing.
No, no, I assume your dad was the one who introduced it, right?
He did, except he was never really much of a fisherman himself. He kind of just showed it to me, and then I
Mm.
kind of progressed, grabbed on, and ran with it.
Yeah. I forget, were you sponsored at the time? Like in eighth, seventh grade? Or was that
Um,
later?
I've never been officially sponsored, but like
Okay.
companies do give us kids free stuff sometimes. I remember I used to get a lot of free baits and sometimes jackets and shirts when I was younger.
Yeah, okay.
Gets a little harder as you get older, and I haven't lost my touch, but I've been away.
Yeah,
Basically, I don't fish as frequently as I used to. I still really enjoy it, but it's just not something that I make a ton of time for anymore.
right, for sure. Now, I remember back in the day, the fishing spots was Miramar Lake,
Evans
um,
Pond,
yeah,
yeah.
and then what was another big like fishing area, would you say?
Pardon?
What was like another good fishing area you went to all the time?
Um, I don't know. I've always liked Lake Poway. They do
Lake Poway.
in wintertime. They usually do trout stocks.
Hmm.
It's always a lot of fun getting there at 5 in the morning, waiting in line.
God,
They
dude.
open the gates at 6, sometimes earlier than 5. We'd show up, but they open the gates at 6. Everybody runs in and gets a spot on the shoreline and starts casting at these trout. And then in the summertime, they stock catfish and have night fishing, which is always nice. Just cruise over and kind of just toss out baits, relax, and hang out with
Hmm.
friends.
Yeah, that's cool. Man, I think I would have gotten into fishing more if I started younger. Because when I started, it was like, I know you introduced me, like you really tried your best, and I should have put more
It's
emphasis
a
into
learning
it.
curve.
It
That's
really
what it
is.
is.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun too, and plus, like, no, like, plus if you combine that with like cooking, like, can you imagine like cooking your fish? I mean, obviously you can imagine it, but
Oh,
like that'd be so
I make
sick.
really good fish.
Exactly, dude. Like
My
that's why I
parents
think.
always taught me how to cook growing up.
That's good because, like, yeah, I feel like that's a cool art is to like actually get your like basically you're hunting your food. You think about it, and then you're cooking it like to eat and stuff like that. I mean, that'd be so sick to do that entire process kind of thing. Um,
Christian, I remember I have seen you a fair few times.
yeah,
I
Tando,
think
yeah.
at the Frights, sitting on Stacy probably. Good times.
Hey, this is a reunion, Pablo. That's cool. Um, okay, well, any other highlights or stuff like that from middle school? Would you say?
Um, Honestly, middle school is really dreary for me.
Okay, okay.
I'm no complaints. It's just looking back on it now,
Hmm.
I was a little stagnant.
Okay.
I got my work done. I did what I needed to do, kept my head not low, but I tried to stay out of the fray. I always got in trouble though, because
Yeah.
I was the one in class who'd finish his assignment in a couple minutes and then start chatting everybody up next to me. So
Right. Yeah.
that was my only issue there really. And high school is honestly the same. Looking back on it, high school was one of the most uneventful 4 years of my life.
Wow. Okay.
I do wish I could have done it differently, and I do wish I would have gone to a different school, to be completely honest. But it was still fun.
Hmm. Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. Okay, well, let's break this down. What happened like freshman year, I guess? Oh,
We had a little lag there. What was that last part?
what? Yeah, that was really bad lag, dude. Can you hear me now? Whoa. Yeah, it's buffering on my side, but if you can hear me like in real time, we should be okay. So okay, what like kind of go into detail then? What was like freshman year like? What was some transition from middle school to high school like? Did you get that question? No, I got you. Yeah. So wait, just go into detail then. Like, what happened freshman year, kind of thing. Hmm. Yeah.
Could you repeat that one more time? No, I did not.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, nothing
Yeah.
eventful really happened freshman year. Nothing eventful really happened sophomore year. And then I guess as junior year
Yeah.
came by, I met new people from other schools. And I'd had fun. I've made lots of friends at Westview, and I knew lots of people doing in the football program. And what else did I do?
Interesting.
Just fishing in
You
general, because
didn't.
I
So
was friends
wait,
with
did you
Ryan
not feel like a
Hopkins, and
part of
we
it? Like,
kind of hung
what
out
do you
all the
mean by
time. We
that?
met other people who
Interesting.
were
Okay.
enthusiastic about marine life. Nathan DeWeese and other friends that we
Interesting. Is
fish
it
with
because
at
like
Westview.
because
Um,
your friend group was so specific that
but that
Westview
was
didn't
pretty
really
much
offer
it,
any of
honestly.
that kind of
I
thing?
didn't
Like,
do that
is that
much
it?
with the Westview kids.
Hmm.
Not really, honestly. I felt a disconnect
Yeah.
always. Just a slight disconnect.
Say it, dude. You're out of there.
Maybe
No.
it's just like at junior year
Right.
I met my friends Jaden and Nick through Ryan because they surfed together.
Yeah.
And I kind of identified with
It's
them a
fun.
little bit more.
I see what you mean.
I don't want to say that Westview kids aren't real. It's just I y'all aren't the same. I'm not I don't want to generalize though, because I love you, Kevin, and I love Daniel, all my brothers,
Hmm.
John, everybody I played football with. Everybody's great. Nothing bad to say about them, but
Right.
I didn't click the same. Nothing really snapped into place like it did with my other friend group that I've kind of
Right, for sure. So
launched
if you
into, and
could
that
take
kind
them
of
back, would
set
you
me
go
off
to
to the rest of my
RB
path. Because
instead of Westview?
if I wouldn't have met them, I'd say I'd be at a four-year
Whoa.
university
Okay.
right now, either San Marcos or Long Beach, doing one of those two. But instead, I did community
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
college,
Right, yeah.
so I could stay at home, hang out with my friends, keeping it local, and
Hmm.
honestly, just hanging out. And I don't want to comment on like the educational part, because I know that
I wonder
Wesley's
if I
much
think maybe
better
the culture for
ranking,
Westview might
obviously
have been like stuck
one
up.
of the top
If you know
schools
what
in
I mean by
California,
that.
and
Maybe that could be it.
I don't regret that
Okay.
one bit. But I'd
Yeah,
say
they
that a
didn't
lot of
feel
the people
welcome.
I've met, just in general, just at parties, and I never went to any Westview parties, and
I see what you mean. Yeah.
maybe I
It's
was
funny that
lame, and
every
that's why I was never
police
invited. But I got
has
invited to Rancho Bernardo
stereotypes.
parties, and those were always a really
Yeah,
good
it's
time.
true though. I mean, it's low key kind of true. I mean, it's just yeah.
I do know what you mean.
Facts,
That's
brother.
probably what it is.
Whoa.
Because most of the kids I
Yeah, it
know from
works now.
RB are like are
Okay.
the surfer
So I guess,
kids, and
dang.
the ones who
So high school,
don't give a damn.
uneventful. Uh, so would you change a lot then? Like if you were to
Hmm.
like work it back kind of
Most
thing?
definitely. I mean, it's the traits of institutionalism, but
Okay.
that's a whole nother.
Mm. Go for it.
Maybe I just have to change the way that I approach people at school, but I just never felt like I was received
Yeah.
very well in most groups, and I knew plenty of people, but I just didn't connect with that many people, and maybe it is that stuck up or
Yeah.
little bit of a, what's the word?
Right. Yeah.
I I didn't mean it in that way.
Yeah.
But it's just different. That's one thing I will say.
Wow,
It's
I
much
didn't know
different.
that.
I think communities
That's
too.
why I'm glad we're doing this.
Rancho
Talking about this
Bernardo
kind of
versus
stuff.
Torrey
So,
Highlands,
okay, let me ask you
two
this then. What
completely
could
different
Westview do
neighborhoods,
different?
two completely
What would
different
you say
types of people.
differently to be better,
In
like
general,
school-wise,
you can't generalize, obviously, but
community-wise?
from I'm generalizing. Sorry, hypocrisy with hypocrisy. It is what it is.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I can go into detail about that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think, okay,
That
this is so funny.
that's an
So
excellent
remember when,
question.
like, do you know, like,
I
kind of
don't
like the
know.
history of how
I just feel
Westview
like
became a thing or whatever? Like,
I just feel like that school is
like,
really
just the
soft.
history of it? Okay, so this is kind of cool. Miss
Everybody
Pigeon was like the
there was
founding
really soft.
mother of like
No complaints
Westview. Like
about
she
the
was there from the
curriculum,
beginning.
obviously,
And
one of
originally
the
this
better
guy
schools in Southern
wanted to make it
California,
like
but
a learning center,
uh,
like just make it like
or in
school, no
California in
sports, no
general, even the nation,
extracurriculums,
I'm
just
sure.
like pure
But
school, whatever. And then all the teachers who were there from the beginning are like, no, like we want to be like a high school, we want to be everything. And what's just really ironic about it is Westview has become a learning center to the point where they're sacrificing their sports and other extracurriculars for like the sake of, you know, SAT scores, for the sake of, you know what I mean, for the sake of just the notion that we're the best out there. You know what I mean by that? Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, like
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
that, I feel like a lot of Westview's programs are really like encompassing and like the people that you know are the people you know. And if you don't
I
participate in
mean,
those programs,
like,
it's
well,
harder to
I think,
know
well, like,
certain
just to
people
recap, like you
and harder to
said
kind of integrate
earlier,
yourself
like,
with those
yeah,
people and maybe
your
figure out who
friends are from
you better
RB,
align
right?
with. Um,
So you
so
would probably fit that
maybe
crowd,
it's
I would
that I
assume, right?
went
RB
to
crowd.
Westview and that's the problem.
Yeah, I think.
Not necessarily the school, but
Okay.
it could have been the same if I went to Rancho Bernardo or Poway. I disconnect maybe.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the closer to the
Mostly.
coast you are, the more douchey the school is what you're telling me. Like Torrey Pines, just like, bruh, like no one messes
I
with
generally get
them.
along really well with everybody that I meet from there, and just in the area, not
Yeah,
just the
exactly.
school, because there's also
They are.
Poway High, which is pretty
Man, it's
close.
crazy how like
Their zoning is
even location can be
generally in
so
a
tribalistic,
close
bro. You
area.
know what I mean? If just the fact you're at Westview or out Mount Carmel, there's some beef there. I mean, it's like school beef, but still, it's interesting how that plays. You know what I mean?
I find Torrey Pines
Um,
actually.
oh man, I mean, did you enjoy? Was
They're
there
an
anything
interesting
you
crowd,
enjoyed from high school, like teacher
but
class
they're
wise? There
fun.
gotta be something. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I had a
Mm,
lot of great teachers. Shout out Profe
yeah.
Michelle for sure. Character, love that man. It's great teacher. Who else did I really like? All the coaches. The coaches are really great for the most part. No complaints. Really, Coach Ahmed's my favorite.
Right.
I'd say he pushed me the most and like kind of gave me the best words of like
Okay,
inspiration.
so it was more so like the
As far as like a
culture and
growth
also
mindset.
like the higher ups at Westview, would you say? That was kind of
And
the
honestly,
issue?
most of the teachers are pretty great. I
Okay,
can't really say that
gotcha.
I had a negative experience with any
Cool, cool.
particular
All right,
teacher,
well then,
disliked a
I guess
teacher.
kind of talk about
Sometimes
your
classes were a
transition
little bit
from like
harder
high
than
school
others,
to
but I mean,
college and that whole
what are you gonna
journey, I
do? Just put in
guess.
a little more effort, and it's done in the end of the
If
day.
you can go into detail. I mean, if you're, yeah, sorry.
I'd said I don't really identify with the culture. That's probably it.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
nothing too extraordinary.
Oh,
I went
dude.
to Miramar
Yeah.
following
Right. Yeah.
fall after summer of 18.
Mhm.
Got a year of classes done, and then had that little incident. Put me out of
It's up
class
to
for a little
you,
bit, but I
dude. I mean,
plan on
if there's
resuming classes next fall.
re
And
if
I've
there,
already
well, here's the
completed
thing.
one
Are there
year.
like
I almost
repercussions
I would
that
have
can
been
affect
transferred
you,
by now,
kind of thing?
basically. If that's a little that's a little peek into the whole thing. I was supposed to apply for transfer last November, so
I just jumps right into it. Yeah.
I guess that event.
Mhm.
Or do you really want
There you go.
to?
Yeah.
Do you want to delve into
Yeah.
it? I
Yeah.
mean, I just have to be careful about what I say, but it's not really an issue. I mean, I was
Okay.
arrested by a campus police officer for skateboarding. It was pretty ridiculous, and that's pretty much all that needs to be said about it.
Whoa.
I know
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
talked about it. You know the
Horsey,
more
bro.
intricate details.
Flying through this. What are you doing right
But it
now,
was a
like
ridiculous
work-wise?
incident,
Or like,
and
what were you
I
before the
got
whole
put out of
quarantine?
school
Where are you
for a
working at?
while, and I will be returning to Miramar next fall, like I said. Gonna grind out that last year of
Yeah.
classes, transfer, do something in
Right.
business, probably marketing or maybe management work.
Yeah.
I haven't quite decided yet. I'm gonna figure
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Before quarantine, or okay, so I was doing classes and honestly just going to school, going to gym, staying at
Okay.
home, doing that thing. I get arrested. I get kicked out of school. So what do I do now? All I'm doing is going to the gym. So right after that, I start looking for
Oh,
work.
okay. Yeah.
My friend Nick works at San Diego and the Westfield County Mall, or North County, Westfield,
Mhm.
North County. So I applied there. I didn't get hired at first, actually, and then
Yeah.
my friend Nick went over to the manager and he was like, "You should hire this guy."
Mhm.
I'm hired. Pretty uneventful story, honestly.
I see.
Really, really cool team of people at San Diego. If you're familiar with it, it's a
Yeah.
skate shop, board shop, kind of, I guess beach lifestyle store.
Right. Yeah.
So I've been
So,
working there
would you say
to
in
make
this
money,
like
build up my
period of
car
your
a little
life,
bit,
you found your identity
and
and your
small
kind
stuff
of
like that,
culture
pretty
and your
much.
like your group? Would you say now?
I do want to continue working there while I finish at Miramar this upcoming fall and spring. But I'll probably cut back my hours a
Mhm.
little bit just to get a little
Okay.
bit more of a
Yeah.
balance so I can still do good on my academic work.
Right. Yeah.
I would
Mhm.
say that working in that board shop
Yeah.
has helped me tremendously as far as communicating with anybody.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least like in life in general too. I want to say that communication is
Mhm.
huge. Just being able to talk to people.
Yeah.
Because when I first started, and this position is sales driven, and we make commission. And if you don't sell, you don't make money. And if you don't sell, you don't get to keep your job. So every day I went in there, pre-quarantine, obviously,
Mm.
I went in there with a positive
Yeah.
attitude.
Right.
People come in, greeted them, hello, welcome to San Diego.
Yeah.
We're looking for anything in particular today. If
I
they were
see. Yeah.
just browsing around, I'd let them do their thing.
Yeah. I gotta beef this up.
And if not, I'd
Um,
try and do my
any
best to help them
cool or
find whatever
funny
they're
stories
looking
at
for.
work, or
And
just
I think
pretty
the most
normal,
important
just
like
chill?
step into that is being able to start that
Okay. Yeah.
conversation and just say, hello, how's it going? My name's Justin.
That's
Hello, how's it
awesome.
going? My name's Kevin.
That's good,
Personal.
dude. Yeah. Like I'm the same way. For me,
Any other
like
questions
this
on that?
doesn't really feel like work. I mean, the fact that my boss lets me use just put this in perspective. The fact that my boss lets me use a conference room during work hours just to have like a
It's a
live
cool team of
chat says a
people.
lot. Like that's how cool he
I'd say
is, right?
it's a really nice
So
environment.
like
Every day
I
is
totally understand.
is a
There's
good day
just
at
like
work.
it's just smooth sailing kind
Never
of
really
thing.
have
Like I mean,
complaints.
sure there might be some bumps in the road, right? Like some things, but like overall, like you actually like it and you enjoy working there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is an enjoyable position, and I think it'll be helpful just to have
Business.
work
Yeah.
experience in the future. Because I'm out of school
So
and I can't do anything about it
you
at the
want like
moment.
sales and business, that
But
kind
I
of route?
can change how I exist
Uh-huh.
by putting myself in the workforce,
Yeah.
getting that experience,
Yeah.
learning how to
Mhm.
communicate with people, which honestly is probably one of the biggest things in business,
Tragic,
which is
yeah.
something that I'm interested in majoring in. I like sales. I don't love sales. Sales is a game. You can play it, you can grind it.
Yeah.
Some people like games. I used to love video games, and I don't really play video games anymore. I still enjoy them. But if you
Yeah.
but if you understand what I'm saying is I'm not that interested in sales. But I would say that the marketing aspect's very interesting. I do enjoy merchandising product, which is basically just laying
Yeah.
out tables, making things look nice so people want to come in and buy them.
Interesting you want
And
that
I think that's
drastic
just a
change
soft little
because so my
touch,
brother,
dipping the
he
toe into marketing.
keep in mind, he had like a major
For
in
hopefully
like
one
physical
day
therapy or whatever,
I'd
that
love to
kind of
work for a
route.
big corporation.
And
I mean,
he got a job as a
everybody
recruiter
wants,
for like
or
this,
not everybody, but
I forgot what the company did, but like
it'd
he
be
was a
pretty
recruiter
fun
where
to
he basically
have a
just
nice
hires
little
people
suit,
like
go into
come
work
on
every
the
day
team or
with my
whatever.
briefcase, and
And
just be respected,
from his
get good
experience,
pay. You
I'm
know,
just giving you like not like a warning, but just like advice where he said like it was very like a draining job because he was stuck in the cubicle. People were like constantly harassing about stuff.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Hmm. Yeah.
And that's how I see sales being draining,
Okay.
because sales is a lot of upkeep. It's messaging multiple people. It's keeping track on how business is going with them, because
Right.
each
True.
sale
Yeah.
is a business transaction, and you have to keep up with accounts typically.
Hmm.
So that's why I'd say I'm not really interested in that. But the marketing perspective, however,
Yeah.
is a bit more intriguing to me, because and
Yeah.
also management, I don't really want to limit myself. And like I said, I only have one year of classes so far, so I haven't exactly like really set
Yeah.
myself anywhere.
Dude, life coach Kochka. Dude, we
But
can
I would be
hire
interested in just
Justin
trying to reach
Fernandez,
people,
bro.
basically. And communication,
Yeah.
communicating to more people,
Right.
finding a company that I align that my values align with.
All about the president.
Getting
Okay, well then
getting along with
I just want to ask you this question just out
their
of
management,
curiosity.
whoever's
We'll
running
change
that
your
company,
philosophy.
and
So
kicking
you
ass.
can't. Okay, based on what you just said, you can't see yourself in 5 years from now. Would you say?
That's
Or
like kind of
are you gonna
my
flip
like
that to be
ambition like side. It's this loose plan. I don't try
okay?
and live in the future, and I don't like to live in the past.
Right.
Try and do my thing and stay focused.
I know. Yeah,
Mhm.
dude. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I can
Wow.
imagine myself, but I'm not sure I could paint a perfect
Right.
picture,
That was literally life changing.
because I
So
don't know
now
what's
your
gonna
whole
happen.
thing
I don't.
is just in the present kind of thing,
Nothing's
and
ever
always
certain.
just being
Because
keen
I
on your
was going to class.
surroundings
I
and
was
stuff
going to
like
class one
that.
morning, riding my skateboard.
Okay.
Next thing
I
you know,
mean,
I'm being
do
grabbed
you
from
want to
behind,
stay in like
and I'm
San
thrown on the
Diego? Would you
floor.
say is that kind
An
of
hour later, I'm in jail,
yeah?
downtown. You don't know what's going to happen. That's a
Yeah.
little look into how my philosophy is kind of affected.
No, like what do you, yeah? Maybe explain on that. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love San Diego. I love the weather.
Right.
Geographically, I love the layout.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to everybody. I love our trails. I like
That's sick.
the access to the desert, access to mountains.
Yeah.
Arizona's not that far if I want to go really off-road stuff. Can go north
Hmm.
for whatever godforsaken reason if you really wanted to. We have fishing industry. Mexico's right down below us.
Yeah,
You can
we
go
got
offshore and fish
everything.
Mexican
Yeah, like
waters
you
and catch
said. So that's why you want to
bluefin.
stay here.
You can go offshore,
Plus,
off
like
of
yeah,
San
like you
Diego
said,
and
like
catch
I would
bluefin
say
right now.
people too, right?
And
You enjoy
like that's just a
people
part of
here.
the fishing
Yeah.
and the whole. I guess my
Right.
lifestyle. I really like the
Yeah.
lifestyle, like living in San Diego.
That's
I
cool,
love
man.
I
Okay,
love the
yeah, I
ocean,
could see it. You know, Justin
like the
getting
mountains, and I like the
a
desert. I love
marketing
good weather.
job somewhere in La
So really
Jolla,
no
dude.
complaints here.
Dude, that'd be sick. Yeah. and then fish. Well, after work, you just go fishing or surfing or something like that. That'd be sick. I think you're okay. See, I'm like looking 10 years in the
Yeah.
future, but yeah.
Generally.
Well, I was just like, yeah, 10 years from now, like, you're gonna work at some like really nice office marketing thing in La Jolla, dude, and then go surfing after, and then every weekend you go fishing too to get your fishing game up and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Ideally, I'm
Right.
okay. Let me hear it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That would be nice. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of living in the moment philosophy, and I feel like that
Yeah.
really aligns with
Maybe see,
San Diego.
I,
It's the San Diego lifestyle.
okay.
Just chill, man.
Yeah. See, I'm the complete opposite.
Because I
want
really
to control
want to
everything.
have a nice
like,
job.
I need every
where I get
piece
to
of
wear
the
a nice
puzzle
suit and make lots of
solve
money.
it.
But you can't plan
Right,
exactly
I
for
know.
those
Yeah.
things. There's
Well,
no
that's
puzzle
the
pieces
point.
to
It's
put together. You kind of just
something
have to
so like
see how it
sudden
goes.
can
Do
change
your
your
best. Do
entire
your
perspective
best
of
to
life,
point yourself in the
perception
right
of life.
direction.
So
That's my
like,
philosophy, at least.
it makes sense. Yeah, it's just maybe I need something, not like something to that degree, but maybe like something.
Hmm.
Yeah, something that shook me.
And that's
Yeah,
how I
exactly.
was.
Like for
But
me,
sometimes things just
my
don't
whole
work out
thing, like 5 years from now,
quite
is
the
like I
way
want
you
to move
think
to
they will.
Texas. I think that's kind of like the.
Hmm.
I see the little grin. Like that's kind of like the. I don't know, man. It's kind of like the move. I think it's good for me in the sense of like I need to be. I think if I force myself to be completely independent and just leave family and just fly out there
A
and
catalyst.
like build my own,
Something less
family and
extreme.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I kind of go into this. So a couple of weeks ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago, you sent me like that video clip of that professor.
And I've put a lot of
What
thought into that too.
I never like
I've
knew
thinking
that side of
how I
Justin,
want
like
to
the
play
more philosophical,
the game, if
kind of
you will.
like the deep thinking kind of
And
Justin.
do
Like,
my
can you go
best to
into
be
that?
in
Like,
the
I
moment while
never knew
playing the
that about
game, but
you.
you always got to plan your moves ahead. I'm not completely spontaneous.
I care, dude. Come on, let's get philosophical here. Like, what got you to that route, kind of thing, to think that way? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
I don't. Nobody knows that side because nobody really interacts with me in that way. I'd say.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I was a little bummed out, thinking too much. I'm a classic overthinker. I think a lot. Voice in your head, cogs just keep
Hmm.
going, and that's and to
Right.
tie it in
Yeah.
to an earlier talking point. Exercise is very important for me because my mind will go a million
Right.
miles an hour unless I can get that energy out, and I can't even think unless I
Wait,
do
is that it?
Back to the
No.
philosophy.
I was expecting.
I believe that we don't have control over everything because
I
I
know.
mean
I know.
we don't. Stuff happens.
Okay, well,
You
how'd you
can
find that
take
guy
it as
then?
you will.
Let me ask you that.
That's my
That
fault.
guy you
That's
sent that
this
video
in simplest terms. That's my philosophy. Take it
him
as
to
you
me.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean,
Okay.
prod a little more, and
Oh, when you sent the
I'll
video?
talk on it more.
I think
But
it was like about 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
you need to guide me in a little
somewhere around
direction because
there.
I've got
Yeah.
this and I need that.
Hmm.
Okay, this is something I can talk about.
Yeah.
About a month and a half ago.
Right.
Was that when it was? When I messaged you? That was more recent.
Yeah.
Okay, well, probably about a month and a half ago. I kind of just had a profound little moment, where I was getting dug down. I was getting frustrated with stuff. It was stuff that I couldn't control, and I had this moment where I thought, I'm not gonna let this affect me.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna let this piss me off. I'm not gonna let this push me off the end. And I started feeling better. And it was just like that. I just changed how I was thinking. And it sounds maybe wishy-washy, It sounds abstract, but I changed how I thought.
Mm.
And a few days later, I found the link to that video
Yeah.
that I was showing you about that professor's speech on the third way. Probably should have done a little research into this just so I could sharpen up my vocabulary. But basically, in its simplest terms,
Like,
I was
I
intrigued
remember
by
what
this
this looks
concept.
like, but I don't remember.
The
Like, that's
third
like,
way of
like, it's
enlightenment,
like
if
inside
you
of
will,
you. That's like your, like, is that
and
the
just
person in
living
your
in the
head
moment,
talking to you? Or
is
not
to
necessarily. That's like the super ego. Like, there's
is
the
to
id ego,
accept
super ego,
and do your
and
best to
what?
live in the
Oh, now you're
moment.
getting philosophical?
Don't get caught up in egos or frustration, because what is the ego? And this is a
conscious
question.
being. I don't know.
And I'll keep. What is the ego?
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
is it?
You got this.
What is the ego? I'd like to think that the ego isn't. I like to think that the ego isn't really a thing. I'd like to think that when you manifest, and this sounds terrible. I wish I had the right verbiage prepared here. In moments or at least myself, when I get frustrated and I want to take out my frustration or anger through yelling or maybe slamming something down, I stop.
Yeah.
And I don't. And that helps me.
Yeah.
I'd like to think it helps
probably
me.
takes,
because I don't let that ego build up.
Right.
Because if you don't have an ego, you can't get hurt.
I
think it takes there's nothing wrong. If someone comes up to you and spits in your face and tells you a bunch of crap and you beat the hell out of them, good for you, just beat the hell out of them. What if you don't?
Someone spit in your face.
Imagine that.
You're gonna beat the
you
crap
get my
out of
perspective?
them, right? But I mean, from your perspective,
and it's not
like,
something.
I'm obviously
it's not
pissed,
something
but
that
I'm
you
not going
just
to act on this because
do.
this
You
could
can't
cause
just
some
do
serious,
it. It really sounds really wishy-washy when I say it, but
it can escalate even further. You know what I mean? That
practice
kind of thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. And that's kind of a little peek into my philosophy on living. That's like I want to try and put it in simpler terms other than blabbing for a while about strange philosophies that I heard
you mean
from a
like
professor.
no ego,
It's something that
like
really
suppressing
struck and
that side
made
of you,
sense
that,
when I
that
heard
ego.
it, because it's something that I'd realized earlier that
Right. Okay.
if you don't allow your ego to build up, if you don't allow your ego to be hurt and realize that there is no ego, then you don't have that frustration. You can't make something from nothing. I mean, you don't want to suppress things.
Yeah.
And this is truly where it's really muddled terminology, because you have to live in the moment in my idea.
Exactly. Yeah. So
you live in the moment.
Does that work every
try
time,
your
though,
best
or has it been working for you?
To actions that would be a waste of time. Because getting frustrated, what does that do for you? Being negative, getting bummed out, what does that do for you? It kills your mindset.
Right.
It doesn't help you. It just makes life harder. What's the point of making life harder for yourself? No, nothing's foolproof. I mean, if it did work every time, and I could truly live in the moment, then I'd technically be the Buddha. I'd be the enlightened one. It doesn't work like that. It's kind of something you have to fall into, and it's been working for me as of recent, ever since I started kind of changing my way of thinking, and it's been helpful. And sure, I have bad days. Sure, I have days where I'm bummed out a little bit, because I could be transferred. I could be at my 4-year right now working on my major, but I'm not, and that's okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's a good question. I like that. Okay. Well, life is what you make it. Life is how you perceive it, and life is how you act. Because we're all on this planet for, I mean, whatever reason. We're all here,
Yeah.
floating through space around the sun. I don't care if you believe in God. I don't care if you believe in female Black Santa. We're here.
Right. Yeah.
You can accept it and move on.
It's up to you, man. It's up to you.
How do I say this? You can accept it and move on and kind of just exist. The way you exist is it's completely up to you. What you decide to do, obviously, it's free will.
Right.
Some people believe it was granted to us by God. I don't know if you want to get into religion. And I'd like to believe that we were put here, maybe by God. I don't necessarily believe that God is a white man with long brown hair, but I don't necessarily believe he doesn't exist.
Does he take a little bit from like?
I'm just saying that
the Eastern religions, like
that
Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, he does.
Getting too caught up in negative emotions and wasteful actions is a waste of our existence in being here. What's the point?
Yeah.
So I guess that's my philosophy there.
Right. Yeah.
He does, and he talks about how it's multiple studies kind of merged together, and I really like the idea of theism and God. But I don't want to label anything, because I mean nobody knows for certain.
So
nobody truly knows.
Completely opposite
maybe they
do
do,
in every way,
maybe
because
they don't. But I can't express any real
because that's the whole point
input into that, because
the past and how
I've only experienced my life.
So my whole thing is like
my
perspective, and see the parallels
and
to like the future,
how I
like
choose
how
to
we can
act
solve like future
on
events or prevent future events, stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's just personally, you want to be in the moment, but like.
Oh no, and I don't want to look at.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think of you and I as opposites in that way.
But obviously, I
love
outside of that,
I love
like you're consciously
history.
aware. Yeah, like in the sense of like
I love the
nothing
idea
that's
and concepts of the
you're aware
future.
of, like, I'm aware of like
what I was saying is I don't want to get too muddled in
my friends are gonna do, like that kind of
my own.
You see what I'm saying by that? Like
in my own future.
You're in tune with yourself.
It's a
philosophy,
life,
but obviously like you're aware of other people and you're gonna give them advice for the future or stuff like that. Along with, like just or I feel like now I'm rambling. I don't know what I'm saying. No. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just never thought that way. Maybe that's why, because like I said, like I like to plan. So maybe I'm just trying to grasp like the way you think of it, kind of thing. Yeah. I know, dude. I literally want to plan everything.
It's okay. It'll come on track.
Right. Right.
And I like to plan too. It's
pretty
just
good.
There's only so much you can plan.
Yeah. Right.
And getting too caught up in the things you can't control is for me something that really like brought me down. Something that made life difficult. Made life difficult. Was life really difficult? No. I mean, not to generalize, but for most of us, we live in America. Life's mostly simple. I'd like to say. I'd like to think. But just not getting caught up in things that are out of my control.
Have you taken philosophy? I'm curious.
And not giving into emotions or actions that
like gather the thoughts.
Were unnecessary, a waste of energy. Because when you save that,
right.
When you save that energy, I mean, it's a part of you. That sounds awesome, really kind of.
Right.
I hate how I'm coming off here, cool. But.
I'm gonna ask you this.
No, I want to. I really want to.
So, are you more?
I'm probably gonna waste a lot of time.
Or the community
when I go to my whatever 4-year I go to, I'm gonna waste a lot of time in a lot of classes because I've got free education until I'm 26 thanks to my father's military service. So I'm just gonna kind of spread it around and see what I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really
Yeah.
careful balance in there. And I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's apparent in the news, the way that the
Yeah.
nation, the state of the nation, and the
Yeah.
state of
No,
our
that's good. You want to
population.
like kind of. Okay,
Um,
so let me just explain
I
myself.
don't
Like,
I don't really
I'm the
have
same
any
kind of the same boat. Like,
personal
obviously, I'm not
philosophies
educated on this, but
on
I
those.
feel like I can do
I probably
more
would,
good
but
in the
it's
sense
not
of
really
like
something
my
that
friends and
that
possibly
I'm
like my town, maybe like PQ
formerly
that I can't
educated
like
in,
the
so
US, you know,
I
like
can
or like
really comment
nationwide, if
without
that makes
kind of
sense. I
just
feel like
pulling
yeah,
up little
yeah,
random
yeah, yeah.
thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah, interpersonal, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that gives me something to talk on.
No,
I
I
find
mean,
it
yeah,
really
right,
helpful to interact. Again,
yeah,
communication not only good in business but good in life in general. I
yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
I love talking to people. I love talking to people. It's my favorite thing. Listening to people.
Right, okay,
People are cool. You meet, you never know. I met
yeah,
some really cool people in jail. Very interesting
hmm,
characters, real characters, and most of them committed a lot more serious crimes, but that doesn't
yeah,
detract from them being
yeah.
interesting human beings themselves. Um,
No, you are.
but back to the
Yeah,
importance of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
community and like overall. Um, I'd say that
Hmm.
being generally good towards
Right.
your fellow man in your close community, your
Yeah,
family
because
members, your
the
friends,
reason why I
people
kind
you
of point
know,
that
just
out,
people
because
in the
what I've
town.
learned is,
That's
I
great.
think you kind of know like how
That's
I wanted to do that world relations
if I'm
class. You've
pointing in
heard
the
about
right
that,
direction,
right?
if that's
Elective.
where you were
Yeah,
going
I
with
don't
it.
want to get into
Yeah,
detail. I mean,
no,
it's a long
I
story, but
really
like,
see a lot of merit
but
in doing good
my philosophy
in
changed
general.
on the whole because
I
I
enjoy
originally
doing good. I
thought,
enjoy
oh,
making
like,
people happy. I enjoy
because
helping
the book I
people.
read, Kite Runner, talked about
Kind of part
how
of my thing.
like there's constant war in the Middle East, and like junior year of high school, I thought, I can't bring peace to the Middle East, but I can at least bring
Hmm.
something something like this false hope sense of like I can bring love education in the high school level. And sadly, the kind of the reality is it didn't work. I devoted 2-3 years of my life to it. Still hasn't really gone anywhere. Their whole thing, it really ties in with what you and Bryce were saying, how people are soft. They don't want to get into the nitty gritty of religion. You know what I mean? Like the
Hmm.
what they believed in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because my whole agenda. Because let's be honest, both of us had an agenda. By the way, I went to the district office of PUSD to talk to like
Because people don't want to
like
hear stuff that goes
like
against
the person who
what
oversees
they
like
think.
curriculums at like
People don't like
the entire like
getting
district. Like I
their
went that high level,
opinions.
right? And I'm actually talking about this, and like my whole thing is
People
like,
don't
no,
like
I think we
hearing
should teach
something
the
other than
tough
what they
stuff
believe.
because people need to
It's
learn
that
and know
simple.
like what they believe in and why they believe in it and how they can approach other people who have different opinions and values and stuff like that. Their whole thing is like, no, we want to maybe make like a literature class where you read a book about some author who's part of that religion, but that's like an undertone. The main theme is about loving people. It's just like, okay,
Mm.
I see what you're coming from, right? But I sadly we live in a world where it's not, rainbows and sunshine, right? We live in a world that is exactly, and I agree with that. But like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's just frustrating. It's just like we both have different agendas. I want my agenda. I think is good. I don't know. I'm biased here, right? Because this is me. I think we need a class like that to teach kids to to love each other, but also to respectfully disagree. Because
We
gonna get
live in
all
a world
dark
of
here. Remember
hypocrisy,
the shooting at the
in
synagogue,
my
bro?
opinion.
Like that's what I want to prevent is to teach that in the schools. Not like that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it. I mean, a couple other ones, but that was a huge like deal with me. And it's just like, guys, like I thought like PUSD would never have something like that. You know what I mean? I like did that ever cross your mind, bro? I never thought we would have a shooting. I never would have thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Close. Yeah. Yeah. That's ironic though, because there are educated people at the district level.
They always come with I
They
mean,
just don't. I don't
it's
think they.
terrible. Anytime
Here's the
that
disconnect.
violent acts like that happen,
They're
it's a shock, but
teachers and
especially
are
when it happens
established people, right?
so
And have
like
careers.
so
I'm just a
close.
kid
Yeah.
out of high school. What do I know? I bet that's what they kind
And
of
I'd
think.
say
Maybe, and they're
it's
like,
uneducated people.
who are you to say
I think
we don't know
I
what
think
we're
you're
doing,
right. It
right?
is
Because
uneducated people.
I feel like I came across like that. Don't get me wrong. I've had help from like teachers. Shout out to Abigail and Steve. They've been supportive of me. But it just feels like they have an agenda, and they want to. Their whole agenda is not to offend. That's what it really comes down to, and it's just like, well, yeah, go back to. Can you? Okay, I know that phrase, but can you actually break that down for me? Like, what do you kind of mean by that? You know? Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And in the end of the day, we're all products of institutionalism. In a great and free nation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all just a bunch of kids growing up in a general area.
Yeah.
But we're zoned for specific schools, and we're told to go there. If we don't go there, we get arrested for truancy, or well, we don't get arrested. That's a little extreme, but you get the idea. There's problems if we don't go. And my problem with classic institutionalism, making kids go to high school and sit there and learn that standard curriculum, which we're given. We don't know if it's good. We don't know if it's bad. It seems good.
Yeah.
It seems good enough. We're told it's good, and it helps us in the future, and it helps capitalism keep working, because in the end of the day, it's anything to get the state of the nation a-okay. But the problem in my opinion with high school and schools in general is I've friends who smart.
Right. I mean,
genius, borderline genius.
They try. I mean, because I was in those
dropped out of high school.
IEP, RSP,
Why?
special ed classes.
They're borderline
they really did
dyslexic at the same time. It just doesn't work
I
for
know
them.
what you mean.
It's a system that's given to everybody when it doesn't work for everybody. Nobody's the same. You can't. There's no one size fits all. And that's my short little glimpse into institutionalism and why it's a failure.
Yeah. Rip. Yeah, it's complex. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about kind of like, I don't want to get too political here, but like that you mentioned capitalism.
Unfortunately, there's
the idea
really
of capitalism is competition, right?
Because
the idea
it's
exactly.
It's not that simple.
We should go back to that kind of route when it comes to schooling. We should have. We should frown upon
take it in stride and
private schools. Like we should get the competition going for like the public schools, the charter schools, the board. Like just have that sense of competition so people can, I don't know, like strive to be better. Does that not really make sense for the education system? That's more money, right? Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Provide education. Yeah.
I mean, it is, and in the end of the day, it's all money, and they're gonna go with whatever costs the least. But that's how they keep it going, and that's how they keep meals going to everybody. And I'm not saying it's completely flawed. It's great that
stuff, whatever.
That our nation is able to
this topic.
I guess provide for our people, provide basic freedom for the most part, education and general welfare. Lost my train of thought completely. All right, we're keeping on this. I'd
Yeah.
say that it really plays into growing up.
Right.
Really plays into it as well. And it's not all terrible because high school is a time for you to figure stuff out. You figure out what you want to do, and you figure out how you want to do it.
Lost train of thought.
In my
No,
case, I figured out
wait, no,
what I
okay,
wanted
wait.
to do,
I
how
have a really
I
fresh
wanted to do
question
it,
in my mind, so I
and
gotta
then
ask
it
because
got
then I'll lose
it kind of got
So
slapped
what you just said there,
because
nature.
everything
Are you
doesn't
more
go
like a
completely to
nature over
plan.
nature over
And I don't
nurture
want to
kind
drive
of
away
guy?
from our topic, but
That whole philosophy? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Okay, hit me. We're dry.
Right.
I suppose. And I think I'm not saying to neglect the nurture side, because I mean everybody has their right to try and be successful, and people
Yeah.
who people who don't do well in
Mhm.
school because they don't learn the same shouldn't have to struggle and shouldn't have to drop out and work at McDonald's or a job that accepts, or
Ours
not
just
even McDonald's anymore.
not
Now you need a
necessarily
high school
ours,
diploma
but
to work
just
there, don't you? So
the
it's really
upbringing of a
limiting if
person,
you think
of
about
a
it. It's
young
really
person,
limiting
like in the like
the
how
whole
that
idea of
person becomes
institutionalism.
who they are in the future. I mean, if you want
And
to relate it to
nurture
Darwinism,
versus
you can.
nature.
If you need to go
Sure.
off
Like,
there,
and
but
you're talking about
yeah,
or speaking to
yeah.
I guess Darwinism.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's kind of just. I mean, everybody's raised differently. Everybody's
Yeah.
raised with their own
But for you
philosophy. We live in a free
personally,
nation. Nothing's
I get.
forced.
This is what I think, but obviously this is about
And you
you.
kind of have to figure that out for
Like,
yourself.
would you say nurture or nature? It's kind of like
You
taking its
figure out
course
how
right
you
now in your
want
life.
to
Would you
fit in the
say
world,
just wait,
how you
looking
want to
back like a year ago,
contribute
like
or
how
not
much has
contribute
changed
to the world,
drastically due to outside,
and how you want to interact with the other
influences, so to
people who
speak?
are contributing or not contributing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yes, I would say so, because I mean we're
Mhm.
adults now. It's the real world. Shit
Um.
happens. You don't expect
Okay.
it.
So we're gonna cut out in like 30 seconds. So
And
I'll see you
I
over
guess,
on the
yeah, it just,
next
at a
stream.
certain point
I'll be there in like a minute. I just gotta do something.
you have to
So
learn how
yeah.
to
All right.
take in
See you over
what's
there.
coming at you, because every day we're faced with new obstacles.
Yeah, it sucks at the end of like weird like that. But just to, I guess to recap, anything else you want to add to what we were just talking about, or is that well said, good enough? Would you say?
That was pretty much it. That's my life philosophy. I mean,
Right.
it's changed for sure
Mm-hmm.
since coming out of high school. I was all about planning your next steps, and I still believe in that. You want to plot a general course, but
Right.
you never know. Stuff
Mm-hmm.
shit happens, and
Exactly.
it's how you respond to it. It's how you
Mm-hmm.
get back up and keep moving. And that sounds really cliche and like football sports movie, like just get
Yeah.
back on the field, boys.
Yeah.
Just run a few more laps and championship. But I mean, that's really what it is. It's building yourself, building the best version of yourself to live the life that you want to live. Because in the end of the day, nobody's telling you how to do it.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Some rapid fire questions. All right, Justin, what are some hobbies and passions you enjoy? I know we kind of went over it, but is there anything else you like to do in your free time?
I enjoy playing guitar now.
Oh, that's cool.
I
Okay.
picked that up. I like music in general. I want to get a bass guitar and a drum set. I want to start a band of some sort. I don't know what kind of music I want to make yet, but
Yeah. Would you ever collab with Johnny, dude?
for sure, that'd be fun. Yeah.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Okay. What grinds your gears? What pet peeves do you have?
Pet peeves.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in basic human morals,
Okay.
right and wrong.
Yeah.
You do wrong, and I don't respect you as much, and I don't want to sound stuck up, but like it's pretty basic stuff, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, I really don't like it when people go against their word, um,
Yeah.
or when they're in laziness in general, or laziness.
No.
I hate
Yeah.
laziness. Honestly, it kills
No.
me when I
Yeah.
ask you to do something and like it's not a problem for you.
This seems like me. I'm
Get
so
it done.
lazy. I'm so lazy, bro.
But I mean,
Uh,
everybody's got their little bit of laziness.
right,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
But people who are just like, woe is me, like life sucks, I don't want to
Mhm.
go outside, that kind of thing. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Uh,
you gotta bust your ass, and I try and do it.
yeah, I mean, you're a living example for sure. Um, okay, this next one. Okay. What talent or gift is unique to you?
I feel like I'm a really personable person. I can talk to pretty much anyone. I've never make bad connections.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
That's my talent, being able to talk to people.
Right. It goes back to what you said earlier about communication, interpersonal, having relationship with people. Do you ever thought that being a thing, like being a counselor actually, or is that still has that never really crossed your mind? Be like a counselor.
I'm gonna be honest, Kevin. I want to make a lot of money.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of started like also I started looking into stock trading, day trading. Learned a lot, made a lot, lost a lot.
Yeah.
It's a tricky game, but it's fun.
Stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've dabbled into that. Yeah, I might invest more money. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really like a. I have a. My dad has a guy who like manages our stocks, so
Yeah.
I got that covered. But it is very interesting to get into stocks, like first coming into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting too, just to see how like the news kind of affects the way business events play out and how
Yeah,
companies are valued.
that too. Exactly. Yeah.
Rapid
Um,
questions.
I know. What are my other questions? Um, I don't know. I guess trying to think of one. This is what sucks about. Okay, let me just say this though. This is what sucks about my format is I don't really have like official. I mean, those are like my kind of official questions, but I really go off based on just a conversation because I feel like that's more sincere, more real. Does that make sense to you?
It's not just plotted questions. It's stuff
Yeah,
that
I mean,
unfolds.
I respect people who have questions and prepared and stuff, but also it comes off slightly fake, slightly TV-y, kind of
And
like
you want them to be listening to you in the moment and not just like waiting to pop out that next question,
yeah.
so hiding something around the corner.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm just babbling because I have no question. To be honest with you, I'm just trying to make this philosophical. Be like, it's all about the conversation, man. It's just about being in the moment, being real, and all that jazz.
I mean, in the end of the day, philosophy is whatever you accept it as.
Mm,
So
for
we,
sure.
we
Yeah.
could be we could be two wise men at a crossroads right now.
I know. Honestly. Um. Let me ask you this actually. So, could another situation or tragic event like change your philosophy again, or do you think you're kind of set in stone for now? Not set in stone, but for now you're kind of like where you're at right now. You don't see yourself changing anytime soon.
I don't.
Okay.
Um, and again, stuff happens every day. I
Yeah.
could change a little bit, but
Yeah.
generally I'm pretty logic driven. Um,
Mhm.
uh, like we talked about earlier, as far as political views, I like to
Mhm.
think of myself as like in the middle.
Yeah.
If you make a good point for a case that'll help generally, if it makes sense, I'm
Yeah.
all for it. That's
Right.
kind of my thing.
I got you. Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you. Yeah. It's just I think we need. We're kind of going off what you're talking about. I think we just need more dialogue with people who disagree with, so we can actually
Mm,
come to some kind of compromise or some kind of conclusion that can benefit both parties or both whatever. whatever you want to put for that word.
And that's tricky too, because the world's changing, and what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable is changing every day.
Yeah,
And it's pretty generational. I mean, there are people in jail for committing crimes of possessing a drug that is now legal in California, Colorado, and Washington.
Right.
I don't want to jump into that, but if you get what I mean, it's old stuff, like racism too. Like, we're never going to have a world full of perfect people without racists, but I mean, as we move forward into the future, as generally more of the people with older perspective and views are gonna move on. They're gonna die. They're gonna bite the dust, and that's what's happening with like legalization of certain substances, and even apparently psychedelics now are becoming more generally accepted.
I see. Yeah.
And that's kind of just a changing perspective. That's my answer.
Right. I got you. Yeah. All right, dude. I have unlocked the secrets of Justin Fernandez now. All right. I guess we'll end it here. Last question. Ask all my guests this question. In one word, what would you describe yourself to be, or what have you been fulfilling this year in one description word?
Oh.
Because a lot's happened to you, like these past 12 months in general.
I guess a balance. I don't want to say balance because I know you've already had an episode. Let's see.
It's another synonym for balance.
Have you done perspective?
I don't remember. I can look
Probably perspective, because I look at the world completely differently now. I honestly, nothing is the same as it was to me when I was in high school. Or, well, I don't want to be extreme in saying that, but
right.
If you understand what I'm saying, it's not. The world isn't what I thought it was, and that might not be true for everybody. Some people understand. Their place in the world, or how they want to view their place in the world, differently than others. I've figured out my perspective. Other people have figured out theirs.
Dude, I think you're good. Yeah, I don't think anyone's used perspective. Yeah, I'm researching. Yeah, you're good. That's a good word. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean,
because it's all how you perceive the stuff that happens to you.
Right.
You can decide to take it in stride, or you can let it kill you. But in the end of the day, you're still there, and you're not better for negative emotion. If it doesn't help you, what's the point?
Right. All right. That's a good way to end it.
I'm a little distracted by the comments.
I know. To be honest with you, I was looking up the.
What's up, Kate?
I was looking up like the words, and I was like listening like half of that. I didn't know we should, like, the fact that we both acknowledged like we weren't really paying attention there, kind of bad, but it just shows that we're human. Okay.
Hey, yeah, we're human. What are you gonna do about it?
Exactly. But on a really positive note, like, Justin, I really appreciate you coming on, bro. It means a lot to me. This was a lot of fun.
It was fun. I really wanted to catch up. That's like, I was excited to just get to talk to you.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I really hope this actually goes somewhere to the point where I can actually because I feel like the main goal of this, honestly, is to just get people with like normal lives. I know that might sound degrading, but what I mean by that is like people who had normal upbringings, but during their normal upbringings, they had really cool pockets of highlights and failures in their life that they want to talk about.
And it's stuff that other people can reflect on too.
Exactly.
They'll come in here and be like, "Wow, I identify with that." That's
it's supposed to be relatable, so to speak. That's kind of like the main goal right now to do. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, all right, I'll let you go, Justin. Again, I really appreciate you doing this, man. It means a lot to me.
All right, you have to hit me up sometime in the near future.
I will, dude. I will take up that offer that you mentioned eventually when I feel better about it. But yeah, man. All right, catch you guys all later. See you.
Take it easy.